good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my wonderful friends. Depending on wherever you are watching from or the time this video you come across this video. It's your wonderful friend, your dental and mental health friend, once again. Um, I've been getting some responses, some comments on the previous videos we've been able to do together. But something struck me in one of the comments, and that's what I want to talk about today. Still talking about our mental health issue. A lot of things play role in helping us to maintain our mental health and also in coping with stress. A lot of things. We've mentioned some of them when we talked about the coping mechanisms or rather coping strategies, as the case may be. So today I'm going to share about 3 or 4 ways you can. But before then, we'll be talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very important aspect of ways we can maintain our mental health. It's very important. And most times when we talk about forgiveness, people begin to look at maybe somebody they offended or somebody who offended them. Forgiveness is not just about somebody you offended or who offended you. Forgiveness can also be maybe that you yourself even offended your own self, or there is a situation you offended by procrastination. There are ways you offend people or things that you may not even know. So sometimes we'll bring some of these things to our knowledge, a kind of. So once you hear forgiveness, it's not talking about somebody that offended you or somebody you offended. It would also mean that you offended yourself and you need to forgive yourself to move on. And of course, by the time you forgive yourself, you will see that your mental health status will become better. So a lot of persons have been having issues with their mental health status because of an offense they have refused to forgive themselves. So that is why today we'll be looking at forgiveness. So I may not be talking about forgiveness, maybe somebody who offended you or somebody who you offended or yourself, just forgiveness generally. And I'm going to mention like 3 or 4 means in which you can look at forgiveness, look at the whole thing and come to forgive yourself or whoever that was offended you, or even somebody you offended. And forgiveness impacts negatively so much on or negatively or positively, as the case may be, on our mental health. What I mean by that is that you hear that when people say that when you don't forgive people, you tend to imprison yourself, you tend to suffer what another person have done. So most times when you don't forgive, the negative impact is more on you who is bearing the grudge than even the person that you think you're angry with or something like that. And most times these persons don't even know that they even offended you or that you are even having a grudge against them, and they are just living their life, going their way. And you, because you are bottling things up, you are now the one who is actually suffering the consequences of their own actions. So when you forgive things or forgive people, you see that you are actually setting yourself free than how you are also setting them free. So today we'll be looking at 3 or 4 things we can do to help us give this forgiveness, because it's very important. Just these are things you come across every day, or you may not really know as they come, as the case may be. Number 1 is relaxation. You see, in these days now, we are so on a fast lane. We think fast, we talk fast, we do things fast, everything fast, that there is hardly even time to actually relax or look at things with a second eye. You hear when people say second opinion, to get a second guess and all that. So these things, they are very helpful. So relaxation in this sense means that when you feel offended by anything, maybe by yourself, by somebody, by anything, by a situation, you feel offended. Now, if you take a chill pill, you will notice that if you calm down, that's why most times when tensions are high, you hear people telling people calm down, calm down. That calm down is very important, because once you are not calm, there is so much possibility of making harsh and rash decisions that in the end you end up regretting these decisions, or even taking actions that you will regret in the future. So it is always good to calm down. So no matter how somebody must have offended you, or you have offended somebody, or whichever one, learn how to just calm down. And when you calm down, you are relaxed. When you are relaxed, you'll be able to look at, okay, what must have made this person do this, or am I actually reacting in proportional direction to what this thing, or to what this person have done? Because sometimes somebody may even do something to you, but your reaction might outweigh what the person have done to you. So if you're not relaxed, some of these things can happen. So relaxation gives you that ample opportunity of taking a second look at the offense and the offender, and with that you may have a second thought about the whole thing, and it might that time be easier for you to just let go, you understand, or maybe approaching the person, if you decide to, talking it over with the person and coming to an amicable or reasonable conclusion about the whole thing that must have happened. So it's something that you need to look at. So in terms of forgiveness, for you to forgive somebody, coming to terms with the situation, looking at it a second time in a relaxed or calm manner, gives you probably a better perspective. You see that, so an action you could have taken, you may end up not taking that same action because you have looked at it from a different perspective. The second one is thought control. A lot of things go through on our minds, and even the actions we take, first of all, stems from the mind, the way we think, what we have thought, then it now snowballs into the action we take, whether good or bad. So when something has happened, somebody has done something to you, your thought process plays very big role in coming to terms with the situation and then offering to forgive such person, or forgive yourself what you have done to yourself, or even forgiving somebody who has offended you, or even asking for forgiveness of somebody whom you have offended, whichever way that it comes. So however, how you process what has happened, or the offender or the offense in your mind, plays a big role. So if you see the offender as, okay, even I myself could have been in this kind of situation, or you see the offense as, okay, this offense is quite inevitable, and probably that's why this person was able to. One of the major reasons for this is that forgiveness does more good to you than even to the offender. That is the truth. So when you hold grudges against people, against persons, you are actually more imprisoned than even the person whom you are holding that grudge against. So the whole idea is just so that you yourself, who is the subject here, can have a better mental health state, because not forgiving people and having a lot of grudges has a way of impacting negatively on your mental health, and there is no two ways about that. Then the third one I can say is the God effect. Just like we also always say, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So always having at the back of your mind that God effect, it will always help you. In fact, most times you see people don't do things for people because they are people, but sometimes they do something for people, or they do things for people for the sake of God. So you hear when people say, okay, for the sake of God, please do this. So sometimes for you, it may not necessarily be for you or for the other person, but for the sake of God, you are now doing this. So because the God effect is very important. So because you know that man is a spiritual being, is very important. It's something that I think is a fact that has been established. So learn how to bring in that God effect, because forgiveness is not usually something that you just do casually. It takes a lot of work inside. So that God effect will play a very big role in calming your spirit, showing you a different directions, different dimensions about the whole thing, and then coming to that conclusion of, okay, saying, okay, I now forgive this person. It's very important. Then the other one I could say is what I could call introspection. That is looking inwards. Now, when you have looked at all those things, you cannot ask yourself, okay, what did I do? What did I not do well that warranted this? Because the truth is that whatever happens, we should learn how to also look at what could have been the fault, or rather the situation, from our own perspective, no matter whether we're at fault or we are not at fault. Because we all know that, just like say, it takes two to tango, a kind of. So just check, is there a way I contributed to this? So when you check, it's okay, after my checks, I saw that I contributed to this through these ways, through these means. Now, is there a way I can now change or do that next time, or in the future I won't be in this kind of situation again? There's a big role. Then when you now check at the end of check, and you now see that you did not actually contribute in any way for what must have happened from this other person, now you now see, okay, it is now time maybe to just, we help when people say you forgive people, but you give them their space. So you've now seen, okay, since I did not contribute to this and this thing still went ahead and happened to me and all that, so it is high time I now give space to this person, or to this place, or to this situation. So you see that it's usually not so easy, but when you learn the act of forgiveness, you will see that you have a better feel of life, because a lot of things that normally burden you will no longer be a burden to you. You know, it will be so easy for you to unburden your soul, and once your soul is unburdened, your mental health will be impacted positively. You will live happier, you will live freely, you will live simpler, and of course, the most lived life is always the life lived much in the simplest way of it. You understand? So I hope that this is able to address this particular issue that this person raised on in my DM, talking about forgiveness and all that. So that comment actually struck me, and I decided to make this little video, not just for this person alone, because I have given my own perspective, or rather my own answer to this person, but I just felt that forgiveness is an important aspect of maintaining our mental health, and that's why I decided to just do this small video, so that if you come across it and it makes any meaning to you, kindly share it, like this video. Anybody you think that needs to listen to this video, kindly bring it to this person's attention, because we all need forgiveness in this life. But if you check very well, you must have offended somebody, and somebody must have offended you, whether intentionally or unintentionally. But the LCM there is that we have offended people, and people have offended us in one way or the other. And because of this fact, we all need forgiveness. The world needs forgiveness for the world to move on peacefully. And without forgiveness, it will be very difficult to have peace among people. So as I come your way next time, keep the comments coming. Share your view about forgiveness. Let's know what you think, your own perspective. Well, is it difficult to forgive? Are you finding it difficult to forgive people, or are you finding it difficult to ask for forgiveness? So it's something we need to look at seriously, because it's very important, especially in the overall human relationship. It plays a very big role, because once you have more than one interest, there will be conflicting interest, and there is the tendency of offending one person or the other, knowingly and unknowingly. And once there is already an offense, there is need for forgiveness. So until I come your way next time, kindly check if there is need for you to forgive somebody, or there is need for you to ask forgiveness, because we all need this forgiveness to move ahead. So stay safe and make sure your mental health is in good shape until I come your way next time. See you.